hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this. Let's imagine what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side. And then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
Ever wondered what happens when cable news giants turn their own shows into full-blown demolition zones? That's exactly what happened this week when Bill Maher on Real Time and Megyn Kelly on The Megyn Kelly Show each went after The View's most talked about hosts, dismantling their arguments with ruthless precision right on live television. Maher pulled apart the recycled talking points with his signature razor-sharp sarcasm, exposing them piece by piece as the conversation unfolded.
Talk about Whoopi Goldberg, because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before. Sure. So everybody was like, "Oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma." First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide.
He sliced through Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg's favorite sound bites with the precision of a scalpel, cutting straight to the heart of the arguments. Then Megyn Kelly stepped in with ice-cold logic, carefully breaking down Sunny Hostin's buzzword-heavy solutions and Navarro's shifting moral lectures. Piece by piece, she challenged their claims before delivering a final, merciless blow by highlighting Whoopi's inconsistent stance on free speech. Clips from these fierce monologues quickly exploded across social media, with many viewers calling it one of the most brutal media takedowns in years. So buckle up, because this wasn't just another television debate. It was a full-on demolition delivered by 2 of cable news's most relentless voices.
And Navarro, in your wildest imagination, you could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever space he goes to. Hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not 3, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note.
My God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
You want to take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
Let's dive in. On his HBO show Real Time, Bill Maher set his sights on Joy Behar's reputation for repeating the same recycled hot takes. As Behar's pre-recorded segment about mainstream distractions played, Maher paused the clip and joked, "Joy, your whole routine is like that friend who shows up with reheated leftovers nobody asked for." His voice carried a layer of playful mock sympathy as he continued. You roll out the same opinions expecting applause, and then you freeze like a deer in headlights when someone actually pushes back. Maher didn't stop there. He compared her career to a kiddie pool, shallow, predictable, and designed for beginners. You've turned into a one-trick pony, Joy.
That's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
Right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner. Can we just understand that part of our sorry racial history in this country is that the point of view from a black person is often going to be very different and sometimes shocking to a white person. I pulled the quote from when...
A rerun of reruns. The studio audience burst into laughter. By the time Maher hit play on the next clip, he had turned what was supposed to be a light critique into a viral moment. In his view, Joy Behar didn't come across as the fearless truth-teller she often claims to be, but more like a repeated echo of the same familiar points. But Bill Maher was only getting started. His next focus was Goldberg. Still in real time, Maher rolled another clip showing Goldberg beginning her comments with her well-known, Well, actually, leaning back at his desk and pretending to be bored, he joked that she had been around so long that her wisdom seemed stuck in amber, ancient, unmoving, and out of step with the moment.
Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed. If you ask them, as we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was
today.
an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slavery.
The audience gasped as he started listing some of her past, well, actually moments, describing them as sound bites that fall apart under real scrutiny. You bring up facts you heard back in 1995, he joked, and then expect everyone to just nod along. But the lesson plan never gets updated. When a clip showed her defending the idea of evolving viewpoints, Maher quickly cut in with another jab. Evolve a little faster, or people will just keep streaming reruns of your past glory days. Clips from the exchange quickly spread across social media, with viewers replaying the moment and highlighting the lines that hit the hardest. In Maher's framing, the polished image of Whoopi as the wise veteran of the panel started to look less like timeless insight and more like a set of familiar, aging talking points.
Well, I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate.
While Bill Maher had The View in his sights on one platform, another heavyweight was preparing on a different stage. On the Megyn Kelly show, Megyn Kelly rolled a highlight reel of Sunny passionately calling for systemic justice. Then she paused the clip. Sunny Kelly began, "You talk about systemic injustice, but why do your solutions sound more like bumper stickers than real blueprints?" From there, she moved quickly through a series of facts, rising recidivism rates, struggling community programs, and legislative gridlock, each point challenging the simplicity of Sunny's soundbite approach. Kelly's careful, lawyer-like breakdown created a sharp contrast. If you want real equity, she argued, you can't just tweet solidarity, you need measurable steps. Every time Sunny leaned on an emotional story, Kelly responded with another example, a city council memo, a budget cut, a family caught in the middle of policy failures. The tension could almost be felt through the screen. Stories matter, Sunny pushed back, but they don't replace policy.
About what the ladies on The View are saying, it's somewhat stomach-turning, but we have a clip. Let's watch.
Word has just come down that Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. Wave.
They're disgusting. Anna Navarro, in your wildest imagination, you could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate.
Kelly nodded. Exactly. Stories don't pass laws. Viewers quickly hailed it as a pure intellectual takedown. No theatrics, just icy, precise logic. But she didn't stop at policy. Next came a masterclass in exposing hypocrisy. Later in the same episode, Kelly turned her attention to Anna Navarro's moral high ground soundbites. She played clips of Navarro condemning politician A for corruption, then paired them with tweets praising politician B for far worse offenses. Your moral compass, Kelly remarked, only points north when it's convenient. Navarro tried the old context matters defense, but Kelly cut straight to the contradiction. Context means nothing if it exists only in hashtags. The silent pause that followed said it all. Social media lit up with reaction clips. "Kelly's delivery is surgical," one fan wrote. Another added, "Navarro just got fact-checked on live TV by having her own words lined up methodically." With calm precision, Kelly exposed Navarro's moral posturing as little more than shaky scaffolding, all without ever raising her voice.
Came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual. She hates Trump. She doesn't want to be near him. She doesn't want to be president again. She destroyed the Rose Garden, and she hates Christmas. That is what passes for news on a network they did a presidential debate on.
If you thought Megyn Kelly was done, think again. She saved her sharpest critique for a familiar target. In a closing segment, she circled back to Whoopi Goldberg, this time armed with First Amendment law. Kelly contrasted Goldberg's public lectures on free speech with her defensive soundbites on hot-button issues, citing landmark cases and showing clips on air. "Is your commitment to free speech conditional on the script you agree with?" Kelly asked. Whoopi's usual confidence faltered under the legal scrutiny. Kelly carefully highlighted inconsistencies, celebrities Goldberg defended versus those she condemned. "Your calls for tolerance vanish when it's a story that hits too close to home," Kelly noted. Within minutes, she had turned Goldberg's own platform against her, portraying her as a champion of rhetoric rather than principle. Viewers compared it to a surprise deposition unfolding live on TV. By the end, Whoopi sat quietly, visibly rattled. With that, Maher and Megyn Kelly had delivered knockout critiques, but the real impact was only beginning. These weren't just soundbite takedowns, they were litmus tests for credibility.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
One day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended because you know who showed up.
Maher and Megyn Kelly didn't just score points. They exposed The View's reliance on safe talking points and unchecked narratives that dominate social media. Viewers hailed their segments as a masterclass in accountability. Critics quickly speculated whether ABC might revamp the show's format, perhaps adding real-time fact checks or bringing in investigative reporters. Meanwhile, fans are already clamoring for more cross-network showdowns. Imagine Tucker Carlson versus Joy Behar, or Rachel Maddow facing Sean Hannity. Unscripted truth bombs clearly hit harder in an era dominated by echo chambers. These critiques prove that sharp wit and solid evidence still matter. YouTube is flooded with reaction videos. Podcasts are debating whether panel shows can ever be more than fluff. And audiences are more skeptical than ever, no longer satisfied with recycled debates and predictable arguments.
I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maher, who has been the standard bearer for liberalism and in many ways leftism until the woke went bananas in this last decade, but for decades, that's what this guy has represented in America. I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sunny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are.
If you tune in to daytime TV expecting safe, predictable chatter, get ready for a shock. Maher's cutting sarcasm on Real Time and Megyn Kelly's icy, methodical logic on her show have just raised the bar for media accountability. They showed that real conversation requires substance, and anything less falls short. The View might survive this viral drubbing, but only if it stops playing defense and starts offering real depth for the audience. Consider this your invitation. Demand more than buzzwords. Seek debates that challenge your thinking. Share these clips with friends who still see daytime TV as harmless fun. And remember, sometimes the truth needs a sharp, unflinching punch to really hit home.
Has to be for everybody.
Right.
We can have platforms that have stuff on them that not everyone on that platform or who consumes stuff on that platform enjoys. And The View is a particularly weird place to do a cancellation.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting And it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a front row seat to the latest media takedowns. From Bill Maher's razor-sharp sarcasm to Megyn Kelly's icy logic, the week proved that holding voices accountable isn't just necessary, it's entertaining. This is your reminder: stay curious, question the narratives, and demand depth from the shows you watch. Share these clips with friends who still think daytime TV is harmless fun, because sometimes seeing the truth cut through the noise is exactly what we need. I'll see you in the next video with more insights, breakdowns, and the moments that matter most. Stay sharp out there.